Good morning, this is Lucky Links. Happy holidays to all of you. I wanted to give you guys a gift for this holiday season. And for those of you who are celebrating today, I wish you all a wonderful holiday, whatever it is you're celebrating. And I haven't spoken in a while, and I've been kind of quiet during this whole upset in the world on the surface, but I have been doing more readings than ever and working with clients more than ever, and there are certain things that are showing up in everyone's astrology and everyone's readings that set the stage on which everything can happen. So there's a lot of people out there who want to talk about what we can and can't manifest. And one of the things that affects what we can and can't manifest is the larger set of patterns at work. You know, it's very hard to manifest a relationship if people are stuck in their homes, for example. And I don't think people look at the bigger picture enough. And I have been looking at the bigger picture in readings with people for a long time. Years ago, when 9/11 happened, I was watching the events unfold. I was looking at the cards, and the cards were telling me very specifically, and I've never really said this publicly before, that something very awful was happening, and the individuals who were behind it were going to take advantage of it. Back then, I didn't believe that I was seeing it correctly, but since then I have watched it played out over the years. So now I would like to say something about the astrology, the Tibetan astrology, of what is happening in the world right now and what we can expect in the new year. The new year won't start until February for us who follow Tibetan astrology. We're still in the metal ox until February. Western astrologers I know are looking at what the planet Uranus is doing in Taurus. People are making all sorts of projections based on that. There are a lot of Western astrologers who are seeing a lot more chaos and a lot more upheaval coming, because in Western astrology, those of you who do it know that Uranus is the planet of upheaval. It is the planet of rebellion. I would like to also add to that, those of you who do numerology, those of you who have 11 in your charts, it is not just a master number, it is a number of rebellion and leveling things. So I see a lot of people who have that number in their numerology chart, but they don't really pay attention to the fact that 11, though it's a master number, can be a number that brings in change, upheaval, and rebellion, like the planet Uranus, okay? So if you're running around saying you have a master number, but you're not working for upheaval and to level that which is immoral and that which sort of holds people down, then you're not really taking advantage of that number in your chart. Likewise, I hear a lot of people talking about upheaval happening to people's things because of their Taurus placement in their view of what's going on in the world. But I hear very people talk about how it is going to completely upset people's values. And in Western astrology, Taurus rules the second house, which would be people's values, not just their money, which it did do, but their values. Now, in Tibetan astrology, which really packs a punch, which is why I really don't do Western astrology anymore. I did when I was younger, but Tibetan astrology really shows us what the cores of our habits are and how to fix them. We watch where the change comes in Tibetan astrology, and there's a great deal of evolution and growth that can happen wherever change comes in. Last year, during the metal rat, we watched the change come in people's highest beliefs. For men, it came in sort of their highest beliefs. For women, it came in their past and their experience. But what happened was very shocking and something that I didn't really expect. This whole world thing that they're calling a pandemic really inserted itself into people's highest beliefs. So we saw change come in everyone's charts. It came in everyone's astrology one way or another through their highest beliefs. What we saw was people actually take on this pandemic as their highest belief. For some people, it became their religion. That was kind of shocking to see. I really didn't expect that one. But it became their religion, and it became the thing that they then decided to proselytize to other people. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have said it in the past. There is something very horrible going beyond all of this, and it is not for everyone's health. And I'm stating it out there very openly. I've put it in past readings, and I've suggested it, but now I'm saying it very, very clearly. There is something not great going on with all of this, and it is going to result in a great deal of pain and suffering for people until they pay attention to what's really going on. Now, I've already had YouTube videos censored and my daily predictions censored, and so I don't even know if this will make it out there, but it feels like it's the right time to say this. So what happened is this whole thing became people's highest beliefs, and I saw something very strange here in the US. There were two political candidates, Trump and Biden, and for the most part, they inserted themselves in people's highest beliefs and they became their religion. One became their God and one became their devil, and that's really all they talk about. And here in California, it is pretty much what people still talk about, which God and which devil you believe in. And if you believe something bigger because you can perceive a bigger picture, they don't know what to do with you. They try to shove you into one camp or the other. And I'm here to say that neither one of them is really what they seem. And they are being used, and as a hypnotist I can say this, they're being used as something to focus people's attention on while misdirection, and used for misdirection while something else is going on behind the scene. In hypnosis, we want to grab someone's attention, we want to bypass their critical factors, and we want to create change. The elections and this thing that they're calling a pandemic are how they've grabbed people's attention and they bypassed their critical factors. They are creating the change that they want to change because of it. So, this year, we saw the change in astrology come in through people's children. Now, last year, by the way, one of the highest beliefs and one of the ways that the change came in was through ancestors. And if you remember, they were shoving medicine into the elderly. Well, this year, the change came in through our outcomes and our children. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people had to change what they do for a living. A lot of people had to redefine what they've looked at as their legacy. And those of you who are paying attention have seen that they are now going after shoving medicine in children, even infants. So we have watched the change come in each way. And next year, and this is what I'm warning everyone about, the change comes in through the self. So they went for the ancestors and the highest belief. They went for the children and the legacy. In the coming year, the change comes in, and they're going to try to change people. And people always say, who's they? Well, the people who are controlling the game. And if you pay attention, there's enough information out there. All you have to do is follow the money. The people who are the corporations, the politicians, the people who are running the world, they're the they. And there is a they. And it is astonishing to me that anyone who throws cards can't see that. Because the minute you throw the cards and you ask what's really going on, the cards will tell you. And I've had a lot of clients come to me, ask me what's going on, and I've seen this stuff intersect in everyone's readings right now. It is affecting everyone. The change comes in through the self next year. So what is going to happen is next year, how you view yourself, the individuals who are controlling this whole chess game, are going to try to manipulate how you view yourself. They are going to try to tear down your identity. They are going to try to put you against other people, and they are going to try to make your sense of yourself go completely unstable. That is what is coming. What is coming in addition to that is going to make everything in everyone's world unstable. It is the water tiger next year. The water tiger does not take coasting, laying around, or just going along to get along, and it does not like repression, and it does not like being pushed down and controlled. So we're at a point right now where people have to make a decision. Do we want to continue to allow the individuals who are doing what they're doing to oppress us, or do we want to stand up for something really, truly spiritual? There are a lot of people in this community who claim to be spiritual, but I have seen very little of it. What I have seen is people worried that they can't go out to dinner, and can they buy more tarot decks, and can they buy more crystals, and can they buy more junk? That is materialism. It is not spirituality. What is really going on here is a fight for your highest beliefs, expressing them, your legacy, and being able to create a world that has a spiritual center for other people and can create healing. It can allow people to be who they truly are, and it can allow people to really evolve and emerge as spiritual beings. And the entire way you look at yourself, there is no such thing as change and manifestation without action. People who are sitting back expecting something to come into the world and solve things for them are going to be greatly disappointed, because those beings who came in to help people are already here. And whenever they show up, I see a great many people who claim to be spiritual pushing them away. So my gift to you is this holiday season. Last year, I spoke from a cemetery on this day, and I asked people, what do you really want to be? Because we all end up in the cemetery, and it happens very quickly, so why waste any time at becoming the being that you were born to be? This year, I'm asking you, what do you stand for in your highest beliefs? What legacy do you really wish to live? And who do you wish to be? Because in times of great change, it is much easier to become those things. The stuff that we have been clinging to has been the poison and the trap to put us in a place where we could be manipulated. And now it is up to us to decide to truly say, I am a spiritual being and I am going to evolve spiritually. And that means doing some things that many people may think are uncomfortable. Looking at themselves and asking, what action can I take to really become an individual who is free? And here is the big thing, and the one thing that just astonishes me. People are truly uncomfortable with the idea of creating a world that helps other people and makes future generations have freedom and the ability to grow into and evolve spiritually. Why does that bother people? To actually think outside of ourselves and do something that actually creates a world where people can be born and become the spiritual being that they were born to be. This is not about houses, it's not about job, it's not about junk. We were born to be spiritual beings and to evolve into something so extraordinary that people are just blowing it because we are thinking this small. I guarantee you, your purpose, your destiny had very little to do with a job and what zip code you live in. Your destiny was to become something so great that it could move time and space. I guarantee you. If you want to talk more about it, contact me, 779-302-8009. conjurehope@gmail.com. If you want to see how next year is going to affect you, same thing. If you want to get a reading, same thing. If you want to work on changing your habits and becoming an individual who's not bound by any of this garbage, so that as we move into next year and the self and the identity is truly challenged by change, I can help you with that too. You guys have a fabulous holiday. I'm sorry that I didn't have this is a wonderful year coming, but that's not where we're at. And the first step to becoming truly what we really are is to face things as they are and to discern them for what they are, and to see all things equally as a possibility for change, growth, and extraordinary evolution.